Congratulations, Major Nelson. I just got the word. Washington has approved your nomination as the senior officer on the lunar landing project.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Of course, it won't be official until General Weatherby approves you.
General Weatherby, sir?
Yes, Pentagon liaison. He's arriving today. Oh, but don't worry, the job is yours. Unless, of course, you foul things up by doing something weird.
Weird? Me, sir?
Please, Major Nelson. Weird is the mildest word I can think of to describe some of the things you've done. Although I must admit that things have been pretty quiet since you got engaged.
Well, getting engaged does quieten a man down, sir.
Well, in your case, it was long overdue.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special podcast. This is the podcast where we watch pretty much all of your favorite TV shows and all the TV shows you forgot about and hate, but we don't discriminate. And we do it over...
We really don't.
We don't discriminate. And we do it over the internet, on Google Hangouts, and we accompany ourselves with adult beverages. So Tonight's a special one because it's the 50th anniversary of the show. Right?
Yes, it is.
So 50 years ago...
Well, not our show, but the show we're doing.
No, we've only been around for not even a year. Almost a year. But this show that we're doing tonight, it's been around for 50 years. You probably know it. It was a syndication dream. I Dream of Jeannie. I felt like I had a bad setup right there.
I was like, I don't know where he's going with this. I never know where you're going.
Yeah, we don't script this shit. And so 50 years ago, probably this week, September 18th, 1965, I Dream of Jeannie was unleashed upon the universe. And
yay!
Surprisingly, this wasn't a show that it was never really a major hit. It was a mediocre hit.
Yeah.
It barely
NBC didn't even think it was going to last a year. They were like, we'll film it in black and white. We're not going to put the money into it.
Yeah, because this was the year that color broke. Color TV broke, and everything was filmed in color except for the shitty shows. And they thought that I Dream of Jeannie was one of the shitty shows, so they were like, all right, let's just fucking do it in black and white. But it was 27 of the nail sings or something, so they were like, all right, we'll pick it up. So, I don't know, they threw some money into it. But surprisingly, it lasted 5 years. And the episode we did tonight, it's a season 5 episode, right?
Yes, it is season 5, episode 5.
It's called Jeannie's Beauty Cream, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This totally has an end of the series feel to it too. But oh shit, we forgot to introduce ourselves because.
Are we?
All right, so this is your first time at the rodeo. I'm Patrick M. Dunn. You might remember me from the previous 20-ish, 21-ish, 22-ish episodes of the podcast. I'm on the twitter.com. It's at Patrick M. Dunn. And I'm joined here, as always, by Kat Halstead.
Woo! You said her correctly.
Make a noise. And she is an author. She has books and shit. And you can find her at kathalstead.com. And on Twitter, she's at KatDVS. And it's Kat with a K. Like Catherine,
yes,
right?
Is.
Catherine? Is that your real name? Okay, it's Katie. Catherine, take it right?
Yeah.
Should we go into the origins of your name? Or is that for another podcast?
I mean, my name is Catherine. And it was a really popular name back in the 80s.
I believe it's...
And I went to school with a million other Kates and Katies. So finally I was my friend was like, we should just call you Kat. I was like, okay. And then it just kind of stuck.
But you have, like, you're Catherine spelled Kathryn? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, fucking awesome that I remember that shit, so shout out.
Like, wow. I don't think we've talked about that in probably, like, over a decade.
And this is the first time we brought it up on a podcast, but I'm Patrick, Patrick, in case you were wondering.
Because there's another way to spell Patrick?
I guess you can drop off the K, right? And just be like with a C? But is that...
Actually, yeah, you probably could.
But does anyone actually have that name?
Probably. I think it's a last name. I think there's an actor. The guy who was in Speed 2.
Oh, Jason Patric. Yeah.
Yeah. That dude.
The only reason I know that is because there was not a K at the end of it, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That's weird. So
yeah.
it just sticks in my head. But I kind of, like, sometimes, like, I do this weird thing where I spell my name that way. Like, when I'm, like, signing, like, a receipt at, like, a restaurant, I just drop the K.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a little risky. I don't know, why not, right? Live it up. But, I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes.
Season 5, episode 5, Jeannie's Beauty Cream, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like, so this episode totally had, like, a end of the series feel to it.
Well, yeah, because, one, we're in the last season. There's... How many times, though, can these people be confused by Jeannie's magic and not finally just ask, things started going wacky around the time Tony got that maid named Jeannie. Or whatever they thought she was. A housekeeper, a maid, a girlfriend.
All right,
there's got to be some kind of correlation.
All right, so I feel like we should kind of do, like, the background story here, because, to be honest, I'm aware of the show. I've seen episodes. I know the theme song. I know the little cartoon intro. I know Jeannie, she does the fucking bling thing. But...
Blink.
What is her origin, though? Like, all right, so Tony is... He's played by Larry Hagman. And he's an astronaut for NASA?
Yeah.
And his spaceship crashes... In, like, the South Pacific?
So it crashes on an island, on a beach, and he's stuck there, and the radio equipment's, like, broke to find them. And so he's trying to figure out how to get out and make a message, and he stumbles upon Jeannie's bottle, and he releases her, and he gets his 3 wishes, which are, like, for her to speak to him in English, to get them off the island, and then, like, something like free her, basically, from, like, being trapped in the bottle or something.
Being, like, a slave.
I forget. I should look that up. Yeah.
But, like, they use, like, a whiskey bottle, don't they? For the actual, like, Jeannie's bottle? They
They use a Gin Beam's Choice bottle that they decorated with gold leaf and stuff.
They, like... Well, because the shows are originally black and white, so they didn't think it was going to be in color. Yeah. So they kind of, like... They had to make it look... like it was colorized, but then when the show was actually in color, they were like, oh shit, what color should it be? And they're like, purple, right? They decided purple?
Yeah, it's like a purple color.
But, like, was it originally green in, like,
purple
real life,
gold.
I believe?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't know. Let's find out. Google Jim Beam
Jeannie.
What was it? Beams.
So, but do they do like be careful what you wish for theme in the show? Like,
kind of, yeah.
So
the thing is, Jeannie doesn't she kind of stops having to grant or she don't say, Jeannie, I wish for blah, blah, blah. Tony will be like, oh man, that Howard, he really needs to find a girlfriend. And then Jeannie will blink and Howard will find a girlfriend or whatever.
Like he becomes like attractive or something. There's just like an imaginary girlfriend like in his presence that he just thinks is real and goes through his whole life thinking that he has a girlfriend is just like a cloud.
Yeah.
Who knows?
According to what I have found on Google, the bottles were actually all kinds of different colors.
They changed the colors like season to season, right? Well, because they probably broke the bottles.
Oh, the genie bottle is like a purple and green iridescent kind of color. So depending on where the light hits it, it's green or it's purple.
All right, but like when you see it on the show, it's usually purple, though, right?
Yeah, it's like a more purple.
Well, I watched like this episode, and then I looked at a picture of the genie bottle, and they were both purple. So I'm like, I assumed it was probably just always purple, except for like maybe like the first 2 seasons where they were like not fully committed to the show, and they were like, let's just make shit up as we go along.
Yeah.
And this was a show. Sidney Sheldon, who's like also an author.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wrote like medical dramas, right?
Yeah. Wrote all kinds of stuff. Like he wrote some movies that got turned into miniseries. Like back during the day when turning a book to a miniseries was like the big thing.
Oh, you totally just sent me a picture of the bottle.
Yeah.
That is a fancy, like, all right, so they take a Jim Beam, like, special bottle, and then they found, like, a stopper for it, right? Like a top? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could totally see, like, a genie living in that. It's, like, it's more classier than Aladdin, the Disney production.
With this stupid lamp.
Yeah, the lamp is boring.
Yeah, I like the bottle. The bottle's cool.
All right.
It's also something that's not going to stick out if you have it, like, sitting somewhere as a decor piece.
Like, you're like, this could pass as, like, a bong, maybe. Like, you know, we're, like, pot aficionados, and we have, like, these cool, like, bottles on our shelves.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, why not? But I didn't mean to interrupt you on Sidney Sheldon, so you were going on about SS.
Well, I was just saying he wrote a bunch of books that became TV in like the late 70s, early 80s, when that was kind of like the thing. Like whatever the best-selling novel was would get turned into a movie. And like the Judith Krantz stuff, the Jackie Collins stuff.
Sidney Sheldon.
So,
but he just kind of been like he had created sitcoms like I Dream of Jeannie. But all right, so what came first? Bewitched came first?
Yes, Bewitched came first. And then Genie was kind of like the answer to Bewitched for NBC. They wanted something like similar. Bewitched, but not Bewitched. And they didn't even want Genie to be a blonde because they were afraid of the comparisons to Samantha. They wanted her to be a brunette. But Barbara Eden was the only blonde to audition for the role. And she's the one who got it.
So, like, did she, like, knock it out of the park? Like, what happened?
Like, none of the women who auditioned that were brunette were right for the role. Like, they just didn't have that it factor that they were looking for the role. Like,
they sucked.
So,
it was just like, oh,
yeah,
I can't believe that. But so Barbara Eden wins the spot. She becomes the genie.
Yeah.
So Tony crashes onto this South Pacific island. He meets the genie's lamp, unleashes her, gets the wish. She comes back to like wherever he lives in Florida.
Cocoa Beach, Florida.
And he works for NASA, and like she becomes like the secretary of Tony for a while.
She becomes like the house. Oh, here are the wishes. I have them written down. He wants Jeannie to speak to him in English.
Okay, because what does she speak?
To come to the. Because she spoke like Arabic or something.
Okay, so she's Arabic.
Because she's a genie. And then.
But she's just like a white chick.
Yeah, she's a blonde white chick. Yeah. For a ship to come to the island he was stranded on and rescue them. And to remove all curses put on Jeannie that caused her to be imprisoned inside the bottle.
Okay, so...
Little did he know he was going to get stuck with this woman.
So that's probably, like, the downside to the wish, right? Like, when he frees her from the imprisonment, like, it's like, oh, fuck, now I'm, like, permanently, like, binded to you.
Like, what am I going to do with her?
He's just
I can't just, like, keep her in the bottle.
But she can go... She, like, goes back in the bottle, though.
Yeah, she can go back into the bottle.
She, like, sleeps there, right?
Yeah, that's like where her room is. It's like this really nicely decorated little lounge.
Yeah, it's pretty
that she
fucking
hangs
sweet
out
looking
in.
too. Like I would just like chill in there all
Like,
day if I was the genie. I'm like, why would
I would love to have a room that looked like the inside of Genie's bottle. It'd be awesome.
maybe that should be your like 2016 goal? Just like redecorate your apartment like the genie bottle.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Why not? It's not in the lease.
Yeah, it's not in the lease.
Well, the boyfriend won't.
And I don't think the boyfriend would be down with the purple furniture.
Like tell like, does he like Prince, the singer? Like, be like, oh, it's fucking very Prince-ish.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fly.
He doesn't like Prince. What about Barney? Does he like Barney?
Like the dinosaur? No.
What about like Harold and the
No.
Purple Crayon? Be like, hey, Harold and the Purple Crayon, yo.
The boyfriend is already a little like, what the F with all the Barbies on display, so.
And he's like, and you have a podcast about like shitty TV shows from yesteryear.
Yeah. He's like, there are times where I think he's like, what is wrong with my girlfriend?
Yeah, and you have like other podcasts too.
Oh, yes, I'm a total secret podcaster. I'm on like 30 and you just don't know it.
You are though, aren't you?
No.
At least like 2 though, right?
Well, there was a Big Brother one, but we didn't do it this year.
Oh, how come? Why not? Was it too much
Because our
work?
schedules just didn't. Our schedules just didn't work.
Well, I guess like a podcast about TV shows works because then you can just do it whenever the hell you want. So then it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we got canceled. No, we didn't. We're back because we're back, yo.
We're back. We were on an unexpected hiatus.
Well, I feel like we have to like do it like a real TV show does it, where they disappear for a while and then they pop back and then
Pop back one day during a rain delay, and then like not again for another month, and then you're back with like 5 new episodes.
yeah, it gets really weird when it's like too cold because like I'm always like burrowed in my bed, and then like the summer was kind of weird, so we're back in the fall, so we'll just like record like 1,000 episodes and just play them throughout the year. So we'll probably record like a Halloween episode like tomorrow, and it's like September like 4th or something.
Yeah.
But all right, so
Okay, so
Genie's beauty cream. I believe this episode starts off and Tony, what's his name? Tony Nelson?
yeah, Tony Nelson and Dr. Bellows.
So Dr. Bellows is like the boss,
wants-
right?
Yeah, he's like the psychiatrist. I think he's ranked above Tony. And yeah, he's kind of like always the one. He's kind of the go-between. He's like the middle manager, is the way to describe it. Because there's the generals, Dr. Bellows, and then Tony and Roger.
And Roger, I believe, knows about... Is he the Healy guy? Roger Healy?
Yeah, Roger Healy.
So he knows about Jeannie, right?
Yeah, he knows about Jeannie. He didn't know about her at first, but now he does.
All right, so I kind of went into this like blindly because like I said I was not too familiar with the show, so I'm like, all right, he seems like he knows what's going on, but I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah.
So all right, so now it kind of like makes the episode a little better because at first I thought like he didn't know what was going on.
Roger, like, he knows about Jeannie, but it's like sometimes he forgets exactly what she can do, that she can do this magic and just totally throw everybody off into this wild whirlwind of crazy.
It's like a comedy of errors, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like something bad happens and it escalates, but like I feel like
Yeah, it's just like you gotta try and get everything back together. It's like you're almost done with the puzzle, and then something happens and it all falls apart, and you gotta try and put it all back together.
I feel like this show could probably easily fix itself based on magic, and she could just like snap her fingers and everything's back to normal. But they have to like apply like weird rules that probably just make sense from like episode to episode.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it because in this episode, I believe Tony Nelson's up for promotion.
Yes, they want him to lead the next lunar landing, senior officer on the next lunar landing.
All right, so we've already landed on the moon, I imagine. Like
Yes.
the lunar landing happened. And
Yes.
they're plotting the second trip to the moon. Neil Armstrong is out. Buzz Aldrin is out. The other people that are involved are out. And they're like, fuck, we need to have Tony Nelson. He's the man. Because, I don't know. I guess he has done like 1,000 other space trips and has been successful every time.
Yeah, Tony goes into space like all the time. So
He does?
Roger.
Does he?
Yeah, they both go into space. There's a couple like they're always training to go into space. They've been to space.
Wait, so there's episodes that take place in space?
Well, more like actually,
Or is it like after the fact? It's like...
it's usually like after or right before he's supposed to leave on a mission, or he's training for the next mission.
So he's an astronaut?
So, yeah.
Okay, I kind of just thought he was like a land person. Like maybe he stayed on the
No,
land
he's
and can
an
do like
astronaut.
land things. Like he was like, oh, I can
Because
look at the...
what was sexier in the 60s than an astronaut? Come on.
Unless you were like Jim Morrison, I guess, or like the Beatles.
Yeah, okay.
So,
But for a clean cut, totally square middle America, an astronaut was probably pretty sexy.
yeah, because he didn't have like the I just dropped acid mustache that like Paul McCartney had.
Yeah.
He had like the, oh shit, I'm wearing like kind of like the suit with the buttons and shit, and I have the clean haircut, and like I got that Cocoa Beach tan.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got like the hot wife. He's got the genie, who's like, she's like 2,000 years old.
Yeah, something
But
like that.
she doesn't look like a day over like 22, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she looks very nice and young.
How old was Barbara Eden when the show actually came out?
Oh, damn. You're gonna make me do math again.
And is she still
Like-
alive, right?
Yes, she is.
She's still around?
Yes, she is.
Larry Hagman is dead though, right? He died like last
Yes,
year.
Barbara Eden and Bill Daly, the man who played Roger, are the only two cast members still alive.
Oh shit. Like, but how old was... Alright, so now after we figured out how old Barbara Eden was, how old was Larry Hagman when the show was on? Because he was like kind of old, right? When he passed?
He's not that old.
Um,
Well, when he passed, yeah.
he didn't age well though, it looks like.
Well, that's because of the alcohol and the drugs.
Yeah, I mean, it was the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, right? And he was in Hollywood.
Exactly.
And
Okay, at the time of this episode, Barbara Eden was 38 years old, actually.
fuck, really? No.
Yeah.
Wow, she's older than... I thought she was, like, in her 20s at this point.
Yeah, so did I. She's 84 right now. Just
God
turned
damn.
84.
So how old was Larry Hagman?
Hold on.
She, like, aged like a robot then.
Robot.
Robot?
Oh, he was the same age.
The what?
He was the same age as Barbara.
Alright, so he passed
They're
last
both-
year. So he was 83 when he passed?
He passed in 2012.
Really? I thought he just, like, died, like, last year.
No, it's been almost 3 years.
No, really? Well,
Yeah.
I thought, did they just... Well, he was on, like, the Dallas Revival. So
Yeah.
that's over, right? Because he died? Is that where it ended, or just...
Yeah, it like lasted like a season after he died. Like it kept going.
Okay. But it just ended, like, this year, though, right? Or last year?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Oh,
Like,
they
about
had,
a year ago.
Did they have, like, they had it in the can, and they just kind of, like...
Yeah, they kind of like aired what they had filmed because he died while filming.
Oh, so, like, his storyline wasn't wrapped up?
Yeah. So then they had to clean everything up and write in JR's death.
They had to pry the whiskey glass from his fucking clutched fist.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were like, Larry Hagman, let's pry that from your clutched fist. Alright, so Larry Hagman and Barbara Eden are like a 38 when this fucking show aired, and they look very youthful.
Yeah, they look good. The actors from the 80s could like use whatever it was that made Barbara and Larry look so good at that age. Because the actors who played parents in the 80s look rough.
Yeah, well, because they were like younger than us, that we are right now. And
Yeah, they were like, or like about our age, and they all look like 20, 30
years older.
What?
Like, we watched Charles in Charge, and, like, the parents were, like, 32, and I was like, they're fucking 32? But I'm like, Larry Hagman. Like, I'm like, Larry Hagman probably was, like, 26 in this episode. But no, he's fucking youthful. Well, like, Hollywood was, like, kind of new. Like, TV was new, so they didn't have that whole, like, let's just get fucking wasted and drunk and high all the time.
Except for Larry Hagman.
Well, I mean, it was the mid to late 60s, early 70s, so... I mean, he was probably just starting. I mean, I'm sure, like, when we do this podcast...
So difficult.
In, like, 4 years, we'll look pretty rough because we're doing this podcast.
They almost fired him. They almost replaced him because he was so difficult because of the drinking. He was drunk while filming almost every episode.
Oh, really? So it's kind of like... I might get fired from this podcast for being too drunk.
Yeah.
I'll look like Larry Hagman in a few years. I just like saying Hagman for some reason. I know it's not how to pronounce it. Patrick Hagman. Maybe that could be like my alias.
That is your word for the episode.
That could be my like alias for the podcast, Patrick Hagman.
After like 20 episodes already, you're going to just change your name randomly?
Yes and no. I mean, do you think, will somebody notice? I mean, I know we have like, people do listen to this show, right? I imagine.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I haven't checked the numbers lately.
Have we done like, we should do like a thing like, if you are listening to this right now, send us a tweet.
Yeah, at Very Podcast.
And just say Larry Hagman. Actually, just write Hagman.
Yeah, just write Hagman. And then we know somebody is listening to this.
And I can't wait.
We're not completely wasting our time.
It's like 11 years from now, and someone's just going to write, like, Hagman.
And we're going to be like, what the hell? I'm going to be like, Patrick, you just got a tweet from that podcast Twitter account? Like, what the hell does Hagman mean? And
I'm going to look like Larry Hagman in his late years at that point in time.
The bushy eyebrows.
Yeah. White hair. All right, so we're like early in this episode. Larry Hagman's character, Tony, is up for promotion with Mr. Brindle. Is that his name?
No, Dr. Bellows.
Why did I say Brindle?
I don't know.
All right, so Dr. Bellows, he's the psychiatrist of NASA.
Yeah, he's the psychiatrist.
And he's kind of like the head boss, I guess, of NASA, or
he's like vouching for Tony with the generals. He's like, "Don't worry, Tony, you're gonna get this," or Major Nelson, "You're gonna get this." Blah blah blah. You know, you've really like toned it down since you got engaged to Jeannie. You know, things haven't been going so crazy lately anymore, so she's really good for you.
Yeah, we're only 5 episodes in the new season, so we have like all summer. Things are kind of okay. Nothing happened. Yeah. Between season 4 and 5, and like maybe the first 4 episodes of season 5 were like kind of rocky, but nothing like too dramatic.
Yeah, like nothing. There weren't goats randomly like showing up in the office, bears, or it wasn't randomly snowing
in Florida
or anything.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, at the same time, though, Jeannie's having lunch with Dr. Bellows' wife, Amanda.
Yes.
And she's like an older woman.
Okay. So, I looked up the ages because I was like curious. So, she's like maybe 2 years older than Jeannie. Well, like Barbara Eden. And she's all like, "Jeannie, what do you use on your skin to keep it looking so young? Mine is like leather from the sun," and she keeps touching her face. And I'm like, she doesn't look that old. It doesn't look like she's got that many wrinkles or anything, but okay.
You know what's funny is, all right, so when they showed her and she put on like the, all right, so I'll tell you what happened. So Jeannie like was like, "Oh, I use this like special beauty cream." So she like puts her hand in her purse and she makes like a vial of beauty cream, like
she
appear in her hand.
The jar.
And she's like, "All right, Amanda, put this on your face and you'll feel refreshed." All right, so when she put it on her face and her face changed to make it look younger, I didn't even notice the actress changed. I'll be honest with you. Like, I was like, I didn't realize what happened. I was like, wait.
My first thought was, what's going on?
I didn't even, because they looked kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
So, my question here is, so does Amanda become, a younger version of herself, or she just becomes, another younger person?
I think it was supposed to be that she just, took off the 8 years of aging, so she looks so different that nobody was going to be like, oh, you look exactly, but nobody's going to think, oh, you look like Mrs. Bellows 15 years younger or something.
But...
You know what I mean? It was...
I feel like there really wasn't, a big difference, so I don't understand why everyone was confused, why it was a different person.
It's the world of I Dream of Jeannie. Everybody has to be confused about something stupid.
Because she puts the cream on her face, and then there's, that noise, the bling, and then I go, wait, she looks exactly the same. And she's wearing the same clothes that she was, 5 minutes earlier.
Well, yeah, because she just put the cream on her face.
And then, alright, so now, my next problem is, alright, so, you're a human, you're gonna put cream on your face, are you not gonna look in the mirror?
Yeah, she didn't look in the mirror, she just, rubbed it in, let it absorb. She didn't check herself in the mirror before going out. She didn't check her hair or anything.
You don't know if there's, spots, you missed a spot, or there's, a big clump of...
what if you just have this clump of, white cream just, on your forehead or something, or, by your mouth? How awful would that be?
And, you don't look, and just be alright, does this make... Remember how, Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell put something on her face and her face turned red? You gotta, look, make sure there's not, a weird reaction.
Where she, just put it on her nose, and then she rubbed it all into her face.
But, sometimes, you put, lotion on your face, and it's, too greasy, so you kind of gotta, spread it in more, or, wipe it down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
But no, she just fucking throws this shit on her face, and she's like, alright, I'm gonna go back to the NASA building. And nobody recognizes her.
I'm gonna go to the NASA building, because, what else am I gonna do during the day?
Nobody recognizes her, and then Major Healy, sees, a lady in, a slinky yellow dress, a hot, young blonde, walking through, and he's, immediately, on her. He's we have to...
He is oh my god, I want to marry you tonight.
And, she's, this is, pre-sexual harassment, is an issue error, because...
Oh my god, yes. There were moments where I was just oh my god. Oh my god, Roger, stop.
She lets it happen. She just, goes with it. And she's like, I'm just gonna...
Healy, what is wrong with you?
And he's like, how do you know my name? And she's like... She's trying to explain, and then he's just I have a boner, though, I can't help it. Literally, he's, walking around with, a hard-on, through the halls of NASA. Yeah. And, there's no, this is back to our, security thing. There's no security here, because...
Oh, yeah, none at all.
So then Amanda gets into, a private room.
Mm-hmm. She's, in a waiting room or something.
And it's Tony... How does Tony become aware that it's Amanda? I can't remember.
Well, when she was with Major Healy, she dropped her badge that says A Bellows or something. So at least there's some sort of security here where she at least has to have a badge to get onto the property or something.
And it's just a picture of an old hag on the badge.
And so Roger's but she has. They're oh no, she stole Amanda's badge. We've got an imposter. We've got to go stop her. Neither of them thinking she was just with Jeannie. Something's up.
I think Tony has a phone conversation with Jeannie, and she says something she casually mentions something about I gave her
She's
skin cream.
Oh yeah, I gave Mrs. Bellows some face cream. He's oh, that was really sweet of you. Bye.
Yeah. So then he goes in, and I think he uses it as a test just to see if it was her.
Well, hold on, let me see my notes. Oh, they find her, and Mrs. Bellows says something that makes where he's where were you just an hour ago? She's I was with your fiance, and he's oh crap, this is Mrs. Bellows.
So And, like, he's well-versed in, like, the weird, crazy shit that happens.
Yeah.
He's like,
It still takes Roger a few more moments before he, like, realizes it's Mrs. Bellows. It's Amanda. Stop hitting on her.
But, like, Tony's like, oh, fuck, not again. He's like, I'm up for promotion. I don't even know what the hell is going to happen. So he comes up with, like, he knows that Mr. Bellows and then, like, the really important guy are about to come in the office.
The general, yeah.
So he decides, like, the craziest thing. He's like, I know Mrs. Bellows. Let's, like, go in the closet and pretend to make out. Like, what the I really have no idea what happened
why
yet.
He had to, like, I just don't understand why Tony had to drag her in to the closet and kiss her to keep Dr. Bellows from finding her. I'm sure there was, like, something else he could have done besides make out with Mrs. Bellows.
But the strangest part of it, it's like a 3-minute scene, and she, like, stays with it. So, like, she's like...
she's like... I mean, maybe he could use a little extra something. Maybe Dr. Bellows wasn't giving it to her.
Yeah, they didn't have the little blue pill back then, so... And you know what? Now she put on that face cream, so she's feeling a little, like, more secure about herself. And she's like, holy shit, fucking Larry Hagman is into me. He's this young whippersnapper who is only 2 years younger than me.
Well, and then Dr. Bellows and the general open the door, and the general's like, this is the morale. Are you suggesting? What? He's, like, totally not down with it.
Now, I had a problem with this because, like, I watched every episode of Mad Men, and every man on that show was, like, having, like 7 extramarital affairs.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I'm sure that trickled down to NASA. I'm sure, like, you were NASA, you were a fucking superstar.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you were probably, like... If Mad Men had, like, 7 extramarital affairs, NASA, like, and fucking astronaut or anyone associated with being an astronaut,
yeah,
probably had, like, movie stars, like, in their
oh yeah, there's
books.
Totally
In their little black books.
Oh my god, stop trying to summon face cream.
Like, who do you think? Like Buzz Aldrin probably had, like, a little black book, and it was probably, like, Judy Garland.
Oh yeah, there's...
Was she dead then, or was she dead at that point? I don't know when she died.
I honestly don't know. Oh god, I'm gonna have to Google this.
Ask Google. Ask. We haven't asked Google a question in a while.
Oh, hold on. Where is it? What year did Judy Garland die?
Judy Garland died on June 22nd, 1969.
All right,
so she had just died.
The moon landing, like, was, like, end of summer 1969, right?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe, like, well, Buzz Aldrin still could have had her information and was like, I might call her. And he's like, oh, fuck, she's dead.
Like, oops, missed that one.
Ask what day the moon landing was.
What was the day of the first moon landing?
July 20th, 1969. According to Wikipedia, Apollo 11 was the spaceflight that landed the first humans on the moon. Americans Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. On July 20th, 1969, at 2018 UTC, Armstrong became the first to step onto the lunar surface. 6 hours later, on July 21st, at 2:56 UTC.
All right, so Judy Garland croaked like a month earlier.
Yeah.
So, like, Buzz Aldrin, he knew he was going to go. He knew he was going to the moon. Everyone probably knew, especially Judy Garland. Mm-hmm. And, like, he probably, like, grabbed her information. He's like, when I come back... Because this is probably, like, June 1st, and he's like, oh, God, when I get back, I'm going to bang Judy Garland. Mm-hmm. Like, Judy Garland's the first person I'm going to call. She's fucking singing Razzle-Dazzle and shit. And he's like, oh, I can't wait to call her. And then he finds out she died. So who would Buzz Aldrin call instead? Because Buzz Aldrin was, like, a stud, right?
Yeah.
Or am I thinking of Neil Armstrong? Like, I don't... Oh, they both are, right?
Yeah, they're both...
Well, Buzz Aldrin was on Dancing with the Stars. That's the reason why he's, like, fresh in my head for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, it could have been 1969?
Sharon Tate was still around, right? At this point, or was she already dead, too?
God. I think...
Google?
Hold on.
I love the Doc Turns Out podcast.
What year did Sharon Tate die? Oop. I don't know what it did. It like froze.
You just asked like a...
It does not want to answer that. It did not want to answer that. Wow.
Re-ask it.
I just typed it. August 9th, 1969.
Alright, so Sharon Tate was still alive at the moon landing. So she was alive to see the moon landing, and he was probably like...
Yes.
Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong's like, Judy Garland's dead. Let's go for Sharon Tate.
But you know she was pregnant with Roman Polanski's baby at the time, right?
Yeah, but that wouldn't stop fucking astronaut. They don't care, right?
Probably not. They were probably like the hottest guys around. They had just got back from the moon. They were cute. They were clean cut.
Yeah, I heard Buzz Aldrin.
Everybody in America was
too.
obsessed with them.
Like maybe Buzz Aldrin had like a weird pregnant chick fetish.
You never know.
And he's like, oh god, I fucking just need a pregnant chick. And he's like calling up Hollywood. And he's like, Hollywood, what do you have for me? And they're like, we got Sharon Tate. And they're like, send her out. And they're like, no, she's having a party tonight at some like house in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh.
And he's like, all right, who else is there?
Morbid.
Barbara Eden? No. She's too old. She's 37 or 38 or whatever the hell we decided she was.
Oh, Patrick.
We always have to take our podcasts to dark places, right?
You notice you're usually the one bringing it there.
It brings in the viewers.
Are
or
we
probably
sure
not. It probably
about
scares
that?
people away. All right, so...
Yeah, they're probably still like freaked out about the Herman Munster conversation.
Yeah, if you're not sure about the Herman Munster conversation, go back to like one of our previous episodes. For the Monsters Today, we talked about Herman Munster's reproductive system, which is still a mystery to us. And if you're involved with the show, give us a call, send us a tweet, and let us know. Let us know, because we're dying to know. I don't sleep at night.
These are the things that keep Pat up.
Yep. Podcast related. So where are we in the show? I can never remember.
Tony is in the closet with Mrs. Bellows making out. And then, okay, so Roger then brings Jeannie in, and then Jeannie sees Tony making out with this woman, and she's like, oh, how could you, Anthony? And she runs out in tears.
Yeah, she's like legitimately upset over something she caused, but...
Yeah, but she doesn't know. They didn't tell her that Mrs. Bellows looks 20 years younger or anything.
But I believe Tony, like, tells her right away, like, he's like, hey,
yeah, as soon
by
as
the
he,
way...
like, sees her, he's like, no, Jeannie, this is what happened. It's Mrs. Bellows. The face cream you gave her made her look this much younger.
And then, so, like, this is, like, weird, like, the magic of the show becomes, like, limited. So she's like, oh, well, I can't fix this. The only way I can fix this is I have to create an antidote cream, and you have to put it on her face. She just can't be, like, bang, and fix everything.
Yeah, she can't just blink and fix it. It has to, like, be something just ridiculous to,
hard to do.
Fix this situation.
So they decide, like, all right, so she's going to go home. Mr. Bellows is going to go home with, like, that important NASA guy, and we're going to have, like, a dinner at his house because Tony's getting promoted. But they're like, fuck, we have to, like, we can't let Mrs. Bellows see herself in the mirror, so we have to go to the house and, like, break all the mirrors.
Yeah, it's like, Roger, go with her.
Yeah,
break all the mirrors. But Roger's still kind of lusting after her, too.
He still has, like, the boner, like, little trouser snake on, and he's like, all right, so he's going to go into the house blindly, just break mirrors everywhere.
Yeah, he's breaking mirrors, he's taking them down.
There's, like, 400 mirrors there, too.
Yeah. Oh my god, there are so many mirrors. I don't think there are that many mirrors in the Big Brother house as there are in the Bellows house. Because Roger was breaking, like, a mirror every minute or two. You'd hear the crashing glass, and and it's another mirror broken. Like, what the hell?
He would like put like a sheet over it, and then he would take like a hammer, and he would like punch it. And
Like, he put his jacket.
You hear like the crack noise, and then Mr. Bellows is like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing. Me, like, there's not shards of glass everywhere, like."
Yeah. It was so weird.
So then, don't they throw when they get to the house? They put Mrs. Bellows back in the closet.
No, they put her. Oh yeah, Dr. Bellows is all freaked out. He's can't see you. My wife is gonna be so mad if you're here. She's like, but I am your wife. And he's like, no, you're not. Like, you're not my wife.
So they
My wife will tell you you're not my wife.
Yeah, so they bring the weird young chick back to the house. That's wearing the same clothes that Mrs. Bellows owns. They throw her in the closet because they don't want Mr. Bellows to see her. He's just like, why would he agree to bringing her back to the house if like he thought something was up?
Well, no. Mr. Bellows, she came home on her own, and he came home on his own.
Oh, wait. Well, she
and
came back with Major Haley, right?
And she was like, Major Haley was like right behind her. Like first, Dr. Bellows shows up, and he goes and he sits down on the couch to like. Because he's just, like, exhausted because, God forbid, anything go just, like, the way he wants it to go one day. You can't have one meeting about Major Nelson without something stupid happening. And he's laying there on the couch, and Mrs. Bellows comes home, and she's just, like, frustrated. She's just cranky because everybody is telling her. She's like, I am Mrs. Bellows. I don't know what to tell you. And she goes to sit down on the couch, and she sits down on Dr. Bellows. And he freaks out. He's like, oh, my God, what are you doing here? Why are you here? She's like, well, I'm your wife. He's like, no, you're not. You are not my wife. And if my wife finds you here, she's going to kill you. Like, oh, my God. And then the doorbell rings, and it's Roger. So he throws Mrs. Bellows in the closet.
So this is why, all right, Mr. Bellows, or Dr. Bellows, or whatever, probably married Amanda when she was young, so he must know what she was like, what she looks like, right?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's probably been like 15, 20 years or something, so he's not like thinking about how she looked then. He's thinking about how she looked this morning when he left her at breakfast.
True. And like, he's like a hotshot NASA like psychiatrist, so he is just getting like poontang.
Yeah, and you're not going to expect your wife to suddenly look 15 years younger.
He just like probably meets like hot young like secretaries and stuff all the time, so he's just like, oh
yeah.
And now there's like a young chick in his house, and he's like, oh, like I forgot this is what you looked like 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So then Roger's like, oh, I'll hide her. And so Roger takes her into the bedroom after he breaks all the mirrors so she can't see the reflection.
But there's like a 2-minute scene where you just hear
arrives.
mirrors breaking, though.
Yeah, you just hear these mirrors breaking, and it's like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? There's like never any explanation.
And then like now we get to the point of the episode where I got so confused. I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? So all right, so now Tony Nelson shows up for his like job interview, I guess.
Yeah.
So he comes in and he's like, so he sees Mr. Bellows or Dr. Bellows, what the fuck his name is.
Dr. Bellows.
And he's like, where's Major Haley and like the hot young woman? And they're like, oh, they're in the bedroom. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go in there. And he like runs into the bedroom.
Yeah, he goes into the bedroom, and Dr. Bellows is like, wait, what?
And then the doorbell rings again.
There's a point where I think Dr. Bellows is just like, I don't even know how to. Like, just get me a scotch, no ice, and just like let me drink this day away.
Then before he even has like a chance to react, like the doorbell rings again, and it's like the really important NASA guy.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it's the general.
I'm on time. Where's Major Nelson or whatever the hell his name is? And he's like,
Dr. Bellows is like, he's not here.
But he might be here. I don't know.
No, he's totally like, there in the bedroom.
So then they keep cutting back and forth from the bedroom and the living room. So like they go like the bedroom, and so it's Major Nelson, Healy, Amanda, and they're like trying to get the antidote cream on Amanda's face.
Well, Roger puts the jar down, And there's like 5 other jars of face cream, and they're all like white jars with like just different colored lids.
They have
and
no
they don't have any
like,
labels
logo.
on them.
There's no logo on them. Oh yeah, because
there's no logo or anything.
Because I believe Tony goes, "This is the actual like potion we gave her earlier, and this is the antidote. Take these, Roger, and don't mix them up." And he puts them down like next to like 4 other vials.
Yeah, so 4 other little jars. So then they're all mixed up. They don't know which one she's supposed to put on her face. And they explain to her that they've been doing an experiment about if an astronaut isn't recognized by
people
their colleagues or something, how would they react? It was like such a stupid excuse. And she's like, "Well, why'd you do this to me?" And they're like, "We needed somebody who didn't know we were." And they're like, "You need to put this face cream on."
All right, so then
it was so stupid.
So then they put the face cream on her. She returns back to normal, and then they do like a genie spell. So how did Amanda not know like a genie spell happened? Because Genie shows up, and they have to like make her appear like they just arrived.
Oh, because Amanda had already left like of the bathroom.
So Amanda already left the bathroom?
Yeah, and then Jeannie came in. Because, you know what, they put the cream on. Amanda took the stuff Jeannie originally gave her. She's like about this whole experiment thing. She's like, "Well, take that." And she put the cream on his wipe-off cream. And then he looked like 10, 15 years younger.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when they called for Jeannie. And they locked themselves in the bathroom again. And then Jeannie blinked them out so that it looked like they were coming from outside the house. I don't know where Roger went, though.
Yeah, they didn't show Roger again. He was still in the bathroom. But then they went back into the bathroom, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, I mean, I guess Roger is part of it, so that he could have, like, they could have just sent him home.
I guess. And then, yeah, and the general's like, "Oh, hey, good to see you and your nice-looking fiancé. Ow, 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 ow," kind of thing.
Oh, so, Tony gets the job, though, right?
I think so, yeah. And then Amanda, like, goes and hides in the bedroom, or in the bathroom. Dr. Bellows has no clue at all what's going on. And he's trying to, like, get Amanda to talk to him, and that's when it fades to the credits.
So, I guess Tony got the job. He became whatever.
Yeah.
And...
yeah, the senior officer or whatever.
I still feel like Jeannie could have fixed this, like, a lot simpler, though.
She probably could have.
But then you don't get that, like, comedy of errors thing, though, I guess.
Exactly. Well, and then you have Roger. When you involve Roger, nothing's going to go easy either.
Well, yeah, you get, like...
because he's a total doofus.
You get, like, 2 people, like, fucking the whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your, like, impressions of the whole episode and the show in general?
Well, okay, I Dream of Jeannie is probably one of my favorite shows ever. It is one of the shows I remember watching as a little kid, like, before we had cable. And, like, when I was really little, like, before I went to, like, nursery school or whatever for the day, I remember, like, I would watch, like, the shows I would watch, I'd be, like, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Gilligan's Island, The Brady Bunch, and Three's Company. Those were, like, the shows I watched when I was a little kid. So
it's like, it holds a special place in your heart.
Yeah, it's always been a part of my life. It's so weird to me when people are like, "I don't understand what you're talking about." I'm like, "Well, when Jeannie does this," and they're like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Jeannie from I Dream of Jeannie?" Mostly these are conversations with my boyfriend, and he doesn't get it. I'm like,
so have you ever seen this episode
you didn't
before?
Watch TV. Not that I can remember. Like, it's not one that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, like, I felt the episode was, like, way too convoluted. There was a lot of stuff going on that it was really hard to follow. Like, as a new,
yeah.
Like, because as I said, like, I vaguely know the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, wait, I don't really understand what's going on. There's, like, way too much stuff. And I'm like, I feel like the Genie could have fixed everything really quick, but then you don't have a TV show.
Yeah, she should have just been able to, like, blink and fix everything.
Like,
But you need to fill those, like, 22 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, so, like, the magic is probably, like, inconsistent between episodes.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be
just like on Bewitched.
Like, it's just, like... Are they ever able to explain it? Or they're just like, oh, it doesn't work this way?
I don't think so. I don't think they really thought that much about it.
Yeah, it seemed like a show that was just very... I mean, no one... It was the 60s, no one... Or 70s, no one questioned this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they weren't watching it the way we watch TV now. Like, we're far more like, well, wait, why? Yeah. Why does it work that way? Like, you could not take a script from I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched or something, like, or Gilligan's Island even, and try and do that today without having to fill in so many, like, stupid little things to explain it.
It reminds me of, like,
you know,
the show Charmed for some reason. I don't know why. By Dream of Jeannie reminds me of, like, Charmed.
Huh. Kind of, sort of.
You're like, kind of. And, like, Bewitched is the same thing. Like, they kind of, like... The magic is convenient to whatever episode they're contained in.
Exactly. There was actually a writer who worked on Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie at the same time.
He, like, was confused.
And then he got, like, fired
because he was
from one of them.
Like, I bet it was...
So, like, you can't work on both these shows.
Well, I imagine, like, if you worked on Bewitched and you worked on I Dream of Jeannie, it was probably fucking confusing. Like, you're like, wait, what is, like, the rules we're supposed to follow? And there probably wasn't, like, rules. They probably didn't think of this stuff back then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what's really funny is, you know, the facade they used for the Bellows house is actually the same facade they used for Samantha and Darren's house on Bewitched.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
Well, I believe the same, like, production company produced both shows, right?
Yeah, I think so. They were on the same lot.
And I believe, like, they retconned a lot of I Dream of Jeannie, just depending on, like, what was going on at that point in time.
I think so,
like,
yeah.
I think they changed, like, things around, like, Jeannie's backstory.
Yeah, Jeannie's backstory is a little inconsistent.
And then there's, like, revival movies, though, right? They came out with, like, sequel movies?
Yes, there are 2 made for TV movies. They're kind of amazing.
So, can you find them anywhere?
Oh, yeah, they're totally on YouTube. You can find them.
So, we should probably do one
I've watched them.
Time, right?
We should.
All right.
They're up there with, like, the Gilligan movies.
So, we'll do, like, a month where we just do these, like, revival movies and just see how it goes.
Oh, totally.
So, I guess my final thought on this episode was I was confused, but
You were confused.
I appreciated it for, like, what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I could totally tell it was, like, a final season episode because it had that weird, like, kind of like they were lazy about it.
They're like, oh my god, how many times can we do this?
But I guess if we ever revisit the show again, we should do, like, a first season one, like a black and white era, and see what happens.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, just the first one we could find on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, let's just, like, I liked I go by the titles, and I'm like, oh, that seems like a good title. And actually, it was the first one that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was. It was the first one we found.
But what an exciting episode.
Yes, it was. What are we doing next?
I believe we're, like, creeping into... We're almost in Halloween, but we're probably going to do, like, one more before Halloween that's just non-holiday themed.
Okay.
Should we do 70s or 90s? I feel like we've done 80s, we've done 60s. We should probably...
Let's do 90s, because this is kind of on your cusp of the 70s.
Yeah, that's true. So we should do 90s.
Okay.
There's a lot going on.
Let's do
Clinton's in office.
A Seinfeld.
Are we ready for a Seinfeld?
I don't know if we are.
I feel like Seinfeld should be a big event. We'll save Seinfeld.
Yeah, we gotta do, like... Let's see, Seinfeld out. We've done Cheers. We've done Home Improvement. We've done Roseanne. Huh.
Full House.
Well, you know what I was thinking earlier?
What were you thinking earlier?
I was thinking earlier, how have we not done an episode of Full House yet?
All right, we should do like a 90s episode of Full House. Which one? So we get all our bros and hoes lined up. And where do we watch it? I feel like we should talk about where we find these episodes. So if you want to watch this episode of I Dream of Jeannie, you go on YouTube.
Yes, and just look up I Dream of Jeannie. It's the first one.
Yeah. Is Full House on Netflix?
No, I don't think so.
For real? Like, I thought they were doing that whole, like, revival thing.
They're doing the revival, but I don't think they have, like, the actual episodes of Full House.
They should. But, so where can we watch Full House?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
All right. You're, like, really good at finding these things. So hang in there, world.
Okay, why is nothing typing?
Oh, do you know what? All right, if you can find this episode, what's the one where Stephanie and Gia like drive in a car with like boys?
Know
what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Kind of vague memory. That was probably about the time I checked out of the series.
We definitely have to do a Gia episode though, because she was like kind of like that bitchy friend of Stephanie.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll figure out where you can find it.
I'm finding partial episodes or episodes that are, like, way too long to be a Full House episode.
All right, well, we'll find out what episode of Full House we're going to do. We don't want to bore our audience, so... As always, until next time.
Bye!